I want you to picture a bright summer afternoon that turns wrong in a way you can't unsee. It was just another flight until it wasn't. A machine doing its honest work until a tiny failure turned everything else into noise. This is the story of a passenger jet that broke the rules of what an airplane is supposed to do. It left Denver, and an hour and a half into cruise, something inside the engine exploded. Not fire and fireworks, but a clean, savage shattering. The blast ripped through systems the designers had assumed were safe, and for reasons investigators later traced to a microscopic flaw the size of a pinhole, the airplane lost the hydraulics that move its control surfaces. The yoke in the pilot's hands no longer steered the plane. The captain, Al Haynes, and his first officer felt the airplane go lazy under them. Instruments that should help you were suddenly useless or ambiguous. The autopilot went quiet. For 44 minutes, they did something you're not taught in normal training. They tried to fly a wide-body transport by throttles and sheer will. A man who happened to be on board, Denny Fitch, heard the call for help, came forward and bent over the throttles. Together, they coaxed, wrestled, and pleaded with two engines for small changes in attitude. The noise in the cockpit, the clipped radio calls with air traffic control, the calm sentences spoken under the worst pressure. You can read them in the official record and they'll still make your skin crawl. They decided to head to a regional airport. The crew dumped fuel, circled, and tried to align with a runway that gave the best chance of a miracle. But without hydraulic control, the airplane behaved like a lumbering animal with a mind of its own. When it finally met the ground, it didn't land so much as collide with an unforgiving field. The fuselage broke apart. Fuel spilled and ignited. Men and women who had been chatting and dozing a moment before were suddenly bracing for an impact that would leave the plane in pieces. And still, and this is the impossible human part, a lot of people made it out alive. First responders and ordinary strangers ran toward flames. Mothers curled over children to shield them. One small boy, who later became the face of the crash, was carried away limp in the arms of a guardsman. He survived because his mother held him down and took the worst of it. That image of someone protecting a child with their body is the kind of quiet terror and heroism that haunts you after the facts settle. Investigators from the Federal Safety Board, NTSB, pieced the mechanical story together methodically. Their conclusion was technical and terrible. A manufacturing defect in the fan disc allowed a crack to grow until it failed catastrophically. The escaping fragments severed hydraulic lines that ran through the tail. The plane had been designed to tolerate some damage, but not that. The report changed industry practices. Inspection procedures were tightened, materials and processes were re-examined, and systems were redesigned to prevent a single point of failure from becoming a total one. The airline, United Airlines, and the world treated the crash like two things at once, a disaster and a miracle. Many lives were lost. Many were also saved in ways that can only be described as organized chaos. The event forced aviation to reckon with what unlikely really means, and it gave birth to new training centered on teamwork in the cockpit, how calm voices, clear roles, and quick improvisation can make the difference between life and death.